Hey guys, it's Roxy with Roxie's Broadway Breakdown. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about breaking character during a show. Now this happens to everybody, whether we get distracted by somebody in the audience or another cast member, or you blank during a monologue, or you go to sing a song and the words just aren't there. I mean, it really does happen to everybody. Now, it's also a little different if you just truly lose your character. You're going along in a show and something happens where you've just completely lost your way and you just break character. Whereas if something happens with a prop or a costume malfunction and you have to ad-lib something really quick to just seamlessly go on with the show, and hopefully the audience hasn't really noticed. But inevitably, if you break character and it's just so obvious that you have to make up something, ad-lib something, improv something, then one leads to the other. So in that sense, it's sort of all-encompassing. So here's some tips. I've seen it, if you're a big enough star, then you can get by with sort of breaking that fourth wall. I've seen this, you know, on Broadway, national tours, big productions where it's so obvious you can't get past it. The audience knows it, you know it, the cast knows it, and that actor will just turn to the audience and say, okay guys, we all know what's happening here, you know. I lost the note, or yeah, I forgot the words. Let's start over. I mean, I've seen that, and it's like, oh, wow, okay. And sometimes the audience eats that up. They feel like, oh, wow, we're part of the show now, you know, or so-and-so just, you know, they're human too. Some people hate that. They're like, oh, I paid a lot for these tickets. I want them to be more professional than that. They just kind of ruined the show for me. I mean, whatever. It can go both ways for you. So, but, you know, breaking that fourth wall, it's a risk. But somehow you have to make a choice. You have to get over that hump and back into the show. So you got to make choices. Sometimes they won't break the fourth wall, but they'll look at another character and sort of make a bit, like maybe a comical bit, and like between each other, they'll, you know, improv something, and the audience is sort of in on that joke between the two of them, and they realize what's going on, and then they'll just get back into it that way. So there's different ways to handle it. It's just depending on how fast you think on your feet. One of the worst things I ever saw was in a high school production of Beauty and the Beast, and Mrs. Potts went to sing Beauty and the Beast, and she just completely blanked, like didn't know the words. I don't know what happened to the poor girl. But instead of thinking fast or making a bit out of it, she just started sobbing, like ugly crying. And I mean, we all felt so bad for her. We were like, oh. I wanted to help the poor girl sing, you know, because she was just sobbing. And as a more experienced actor, I was thinking, make a bit out of it, you know, like, you're just so emotional that they're in love and you're going to be human again. Like, you know, just start, you know, wiping your tears with your apron and like, oh, we're going to be human again. I mean, just start talking, just start doing anything but crying, you know, so you don't want that to happen to you. So think of something better than that. I think it's always better to go with a comical route than try to make something dramatic out of it. I mean, it is musical comedy, so you have a little bit more leeway with it. So I think it's, I mean, depending obviously on the scene you're playing, you know, and if it is sort of a dramatic scene, then you might want to go that route. But for the most part, it's musical comedy, so more than likely it's going to be lighthearted, and so I would make a bit out of it. But watch my video on improvs and like theater. So sometimes it's how you handle it, but you got to get out of it somehow. You got to get over it fast and quick and as seamless as possible so that hopefully the audience won't notice it. That's the best way to get out of it. Just through it and over it professionally and out of it. And if you have to look to another actor to help, great. If it's just you on stage, think fast and get out of it. That's the best way. All right, I hope that helped. Subscribe to my channel, check out all my other videos, and I'll see you in the next.